Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Edric Show. I am your host, Edric Jerome. This is the place for intelligent conversation with interesting people. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell, and you'll get notified when I post content each and every week. Very special guest today. My guest is longtime Bay Area music artist T.G. Lighted, the entertainer.
Yes.
TG has more than 50 years of experience in the music business and has been singing professionally since he was 9 years old.
Right.
During his long and award winning career, he has shared the stage with legendary performers like Sly Stone, Lenny Williams, and the Delfonics. TG is a founding member and lead singer of the singing group Best Intentions, and he is the visionary creator of TG Lighted Entertainment, a company dedicated to offering vocal coaching, performance coaching, and wellness services for musical artists. TG, welcome to the show.
Wow, that was great. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. I did my homework, man. Did my homework. You've done a lot in your career, man. I can't wait to talk to you about it. So congratulations. Let's start at the beginning. Where'd you grow up, and where and how did you develop your love and gift for singing and performing?
I grew up in Richmond, California, and I guess like most Black people, um, African Americans, I my mom always played music at home. Always played music, and she also sang along. She also had bands to practice at home in the house. So I was influenced at home by music, and and the many by all the many entertainers that she played on.
Did you sing as a child in front of your family? Did they encourage you? Did you perform as a kid? I mean, how did
Oh
that?
man, I used to play as a kid and just sing, And my mom, I guess she noticed it, and she had me perform for a company. She had me to come and dance for a company, and they'd pay me. They'd give me money. I would say, "Give me money." Yeah, they would give me money, and I really didn't understand what was going on. I would just She'd say, "Come on, come out. I want you to sing for my company." I sing for a company, and they start throwing money.
Now, according to your bio, when I was doing research on you, you actually signed your first recording contract at 9 years old. Is that correct?
Yes.
Tell me about that. What do you remember about that? At nine, I'm sure your mom had or somebody had to sign for you as a guardian, but what was it like being a professionally signed artist at 9 years old?
It was great while it lasted, um, and I think the way I got to Dig Dale Enterprises was we had I had performed for Motown to be signed by Motown, and they were just signing Michael Jackson and the Jackson Five. So uh, I told my manager, well, go right up the street to Dig Dale Enterprises and see what they say. And Dig Dale Enterprises said, yes, we want him. And that's how I got to Dig Dale Enterprises and the record there. I performed right there in front of them. Yeah.
Um, would you think back then, I mean, people always talk about breaking into the business and having it and finding that right break and being able to meet people. The way you casually said, yeah, they told me just go up and go to Dickdale Enterprises. I don't know if that happens like that today, but back then, what was that like being so close to, especially such a great organization and impactful organization like Motown, and then being able to go right into another services agreement with a company that's right, literally next door, as you said, or up the street?
Well, it was like a stream, to me, because my manager at the time, Mel Davis, he was also from Richmond, California. He would just have me perform for people. I mean, we'd walk into an office and he'd say, okay, I brought him here to perform for you. And sometimes, most of the time, I didn't even know who it was. And I would perform. And so, to get investors or whatever. So that's just the way it was.
What was it about? And I also am from Richmond, California, so I got to ask, what part of Richmond are you from?
Oh, South Side.
South Side. Okay. All
Well,
right.
actually, my family, we lived South Side, Central, and also Central Richmond.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, my people was in Parchester, so
Oh,
we were,
Parchester. Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
we were out there. There's something about Richmond that I loved growing up in Richmond. It had a big influence and still has influence on me. What was it like growing up in Richmond for you? And just what do you remember about your early days in Richmond?
Well, I do remember black businesses. We had several stores we went to, black-owned stores, which don't exist anymore. Um, Restaurants. We had plenty of restaurants as well. Um, I remember places like the McKesmo, where my family, my oldest brother and all would go to the McKesmo. The McKesmo is gone. Minnie Lou's, where we used to go see Bobby Bland, and BB King, and which so it was entertainment. The entertainment was alive. James Brown, um, um, Joe Simon, also Joe Simon. When I was a little boy, he used to come through, and in fact, it was Joe Simon's background singers that influenced me most, as far as learning how to sing background.
Where did the love and your ability to write music and create music come from? Because there are people who are great singers, there are people who are writers, but there are people who also sing and write and perform. So,
Mm.
where did that skill set come from in terms of your ability to actually write and compose music?
I think that came from the creator, the source, the creator, because I was writing songs at 4 years old.
Hmm.
Yeah. And I would say other artists influenced me in writing as I came along. As I grew up, uh, I partnered up with Dale Ramsey, and we wrote quite a bit of material together. So,
And also, I would imagine having access to that kind of music, like listening to the radio and buying records and things like that. I want to swing back for a second before we get into your style of music and how you create your the type of music you produce and have been producing for a long time. I just want to, since you mentioned Motown, I had a question about Motown later, but I'm going to ask you now. Can you speak to the worldwide cultural significance of Motown and the legacy of Motown that's still relevant today?
oh wow, Motown is the main influence in music today. You know, um, and I said the main influence because we had Stax Records, we had uh, uh, Philadelphia, but I think the main influence has been Motown that influenced the world, coming from African Americans.
Hmm. Okay.
Um, and Motown, I think, is where uh, all the musicians today, all the singers, we were influenced by it, and we wanted to become stars from looking at the Temptations, Smokey Robinson, Marvin Gaye. So yeah, that's how we got into this thing.
You mentioned some of your musical influences, but maybe talk to me about your style of music. If you had to describe your music to someone who maybe haven't heard your music before, how would you describe your music? Is it a certain genre? I mean, I know it's R&B, but tell me about your style of music and how would you describe it to someone?
Well, the first thing is it's from the heart. The style of music is from the heart. My style of music is from R&B, as well as classic singers like Nat King Cole, Johnny Mathis. Marvin Gaye was actually a classic singer as well, but he had to make it doing R&B because he was in Motown and they didn't believe in him doing that at the time. So I would say classic R&B artists also have been influenced by blues, Bobby Bland, Johnny Taylor, Sam and Dave, Otis Redding. So my influences are from there. So the style of music is a combination of all of that, and me sincerely trying to bring out of my soul and from my heart that music. I don't have I couldn't just describe it in one sentence. Okay, this is pop. It's pop and R&B, a soft rock, but also soft rock is really good too. It's one of my influences.
In addition to be an accomplished writer and producer and singer, you also put a lot of work and energy over your career into performance, which I think for me, I don't know if, especially younger artists, I can't speak for all younger artists, but it seems like people don't emphasize the live performance like maybe they used to, where people are actually singing and not singing the backing tracks and things like that. Coming out of that world of being influenced like by Motown, and talk to me about the importance of the performance, the show, the making sure that people get their money's worth when they come and see you.
Um, yeah, that is a whole lot to answer to because it starts with just practicing and rehearsing to getting the band together to promoting the show, and it's a lot. Um, um, Bringing a live show is it's where the real music is. That is the real music. I wouldn't even say the recording. I would say the live show is where the life of the music actually comes from. It's the heart of the music, and seeing the joy, on people's faces and feeling their energy that you just relieved them so much from the show that they just feel like they're flying. When the performance is finished, and you feel the same way too as an artist that you feel like you're on a cloud because it's heavenly. It's music is one of the I would say the brighter sides of life. It's also um, therapeutic. It's also therapeutic. Yes, and um, people love it. It is live music. Live music, when you see it live, it's more touching to me. You actually experience the music. You do when from a recording you experience it, but not as deep and not as exciting as the live show. So you asked me to talk about the live show.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, it really entails a lot. Yes, you get a lot of feedback from people as to what it does for them in their life, and you get the feeling from a live show that you've helped someone. You know, uh, I even had one person to tell me, "You gave me strength. You gave me a strength from your performance that's going to carry me throughout this week. You didn't know it, but I'm going to have a rough week, and you've given me the strength to make it through." I'm like, I did. you know. So music is very powerful. It's powerful, and the live show I think is the most powerful.
As I mentioned in the opening, you've had the opportunity to share the stage with true legends in the game. Was there ever a time where you were starstruck, or first of all, tell me about some of the people you shared the stage with, and maybe tell me about a time where you looked over and you're like, oh wow, that's actually that person standing there singing next to me. What was that experience like?
Oh yeah, that was like, man, just it's really something to be starstruck is what we call it, to be starstruck. You know, it almost leaves you speechless. I stood next to James Brown. I've stood next to Al Green. I've stood next to Lenny Williams. But the first one was Freddie Hughes. Freddie Hughes and Wally Cox was, I opened up for them first. And to meet Freddie Hughes after hearing him sing the way he sang, I know a lot of people might not remember Freddie Hughes, Send My Baby Back, but to stand next to him and hear how he sang as a little boy, I didn't know what to say. I was speechless, man. I was speechless. I couldn't even say hi. I was just speechless. And then to have that same man to come up and hug me and say, "You sound great." I mean, it was just magnificent to me. Uh, James Brown, I was speechless. I was just speechless, man. I couldn't speak. So yeah, I've stood um, next to Carla Thomas, and it's really what can I say? It's like it's the fear. It's like fear. It just freezes you. You know, yeah.
Um, I know another aspect of what you do is, and you kind of mentioned it before, and I want to talk to you, and we'll get into TG Lighted Entertainment, but we had a conversation when I first met you about music as medicine, and you kind of talked about how music makes you feel.
Mhm.
Um, music has healing properties, and some of the stuff you're doing with TG Lighted Entertainment and some of the services you offer. Maybe let's pivot and talk about that a little bit because
Okay.
you're doing some interesting things with senior citizens and music. So talk to me a little bit about that.
Um, I my mom was disabled for like 20 years or so, and I also had a blind sister who's passed away. Both of them passed away. Um, but music, I seen that as being the healing force for them because um, they were a whole different person when they listened to music. Happy, joyful, willing to learn. Um, the stubbornness went away. The pain went away. The sickness seemed to go away. So music is healing. I've watched it myself. Um, I taught my sister how to walk again. She had lost her ability to walk, and I taught her how to walk again, and that was with music. I just had her to put her feet on my feet and dance with me a little bit, you know, and she learned to walk again. My mother couldn't speak because she had a stroke. She couldn't speak, and I would just sing to her and mouth the words really slow. She began to she began to speak again. I would say like, "I love you," and just keep saying that to her. And she's, "I love you," So basically, she starts singing and speaking. Also, from that, she got into a music course in her therapy and made the Richmond Independent because her recovery to speak was so I was uh, unusual for them. So yes, music will do it.
And as I mentioned, your company, TG Lighted Entertainment,
Mhm.
you offer various services, vocal coaching, things like that. Tell me about some of the services you offer, and what people can if they come to you, what can they expect to receive in terms of what you're doing in coaching and things like that.
Well, I'm just developing it, but I want to uh, help people develop their voices, uh, give people a word to the right on how they should conduct themselves as well, and teach vocals, also to give shows. So the program in which you were referring to with the elderly, I'm doing it on a small level now. We're doing it on a small level. TG Lighters is a team. It's the production is a team. It's not just me. So we're working to expand that to where we include elderly communities, not just an elderly facility, but actually the elderly communities, and then to bring people from the facilities to the community and enjoy the music all together on a larger level, which will get them out, get them out of where they are, where they can have a break from that environment and have some fun, man. Enjoy life.
I'm also want to circle back to a conversation we had when I first met you. We were talking about cover songs and
Uh,
standards, and I know you write a lot of original material and you sing your own original material,
mhm.
but we were kind of having that conversation about back in the day if you had a great song, people would cover it and various artists, and you get different interpretations of it. Talk to me about your view of standards and cover songs, maybe some of the ones you incorporate into your own performance, and just how important it is to make sure that those songs are kept alive and continue to circulate.
Right, right. Yeah. Well, back in you know 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, uh, artists covered other people's music. Not only just covered it live, but actually recorded those songs in their own way. And I think it reinforced the messages that the artists were trying to bring. I think it reinforced the the heart of what the way we feel as people, uh, of all people. gave people more of a chance to reflect. Just to hear it once or twice or by one artist, you only get one version. When you hear other versions, it gives you a different point of view of the same song. So I think it's important because when you when an artist performs a song in their own way, that's that artist's interpretation. When another artist does it, that's their interpretation of the same song. But the message seems to be different because of the interpretation of it. And the mood also changes. The mood of the song changes with a different arrangement. So you get more of a well-rounded view of the song and the person who wrote it. Because one person sometimes as an artist, you can't express what you really are trying to express through the song. Um, how can I say you can only see so far. But when someone else sees your music and hears your music and perceives it, they can take it a little further or put it in a different way. So I think it's important because it gives a better understanding of, hey, the artist, and it also makes you feel, oh, this person, when they wrote this song, that was really great. That was really great. And, I can listen to all these different versions and really, really enjoy this artist perception. So I think it's important because it it helps the artist to live on. You want to live on. You don't want to just be a one hit wonder, or just sing everybody, the world to know you by one song. You want them to know you by who you are. So when that all those interpretations come out of the song, maybe when it used to anyway, you would get a different view of that artist, and it would last longer in your heart and your mind, and you have a greater appreciation for it.
Um, I also want to ask you about something else that I think is really important. And you talked about Motown's influence, and I've seen, online doing my research. You're always well dressed, sir. You always, I mean, the way you put things together is just you're right on point. How important is fashion coming from the Motown days and what they did and how they had people in suits and nice ties and everything like that? Talk to me about the importance of fashion, particularly when you're going out in front of an audience.
Well, you can be one way at home. You can be doing gardening and wear overalls at home. I know I do. you know, and then I may, around the house, I'm wearing jeans and t-shirts. But when I'm presenting classic music or Motown music or any music, I'm dressing up. I'm being bigger than life. You know, being bigger than life, and so you um, practice your etiquette when you speak. You stand more correct when you're dressed. You present yourself more professional when you're dressed. And I think Barry Gordy and other people who put out shows, whether it was the 20s or earlier music, they understood that when you dress up, it changes you. It changes the way you present yourself and the way that you feel about yourself. So if you dress up, it's it helps your attitude. It helps to have that good attitude too. And it's like that. Uh, for instance, let's say if I was watching John Wayne on TV, I'm watching John Wayne, and he's coming to get you with the guns. When I was a kid, well, after I watched John Wayne do that, I might go in the mirror at home as a little kid and practice like I'm John Wayne. You know what I'm saying? Pulling my gun, hey. So, and unconsciously. So it also puts an unconscious behavior into people's lives of decency, of being dressed up, keeping a good spirit, and being respectful. So it's very important to dress properly.
We have a few minutes left, so now let me ask you about current projects. What are you currently working on?
Mm-hmm.
Where can people see you? And what's going to happen in the future for TG Lighted?
Um, hmm. Well, right now I'm working on my EP. I'm working on an EP. I'm working on an album and 12 videos. I'm doing 12 videos, 12 songs uh, of me today and how I am today. Um, Performance wise, I have to notify you
That's fine.
because I'm really working on writing. But I'm a solo artist. No, you have me down with the best intentions as well. But I'm a solo artist, and I want to do things more of my solo uh, material. I want to do more of my own material. So I'm not on the same page as far as recording with a group. So I'm working on my own right now.
Well, if people want more information about you or the EP when it comes out, can you give me your website or how can people get a hold of you?
Oh yeah, tglighted.com.
Very simple.
Booking,
TG Lighted.
booking, booking at tglighted.com.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. Well, TG, again, we're looking forward to having our conversation. I've been looking forward to talking to you just about, the influence that you've had and continue to have on music and what you bring to R&B and all
Mm.
the different types of music that you perform. It's always nice to talk to another fellow Richmond, California
Right, man.
person because they only the coolest people come out of Richmond. I hope people understand that. Just
Mm.
so
Oh
leave
yeah.
that where it's at. But TG Lighted, thank you so much for coming on the Edric Show, and I really appreciate your time today.
Okay, I hope to talk to you again soon.
Sounds good. Sounds
I
good.
want to
My guest.
thank you
Oh,
for the opportunity to be on your show.
oh, you're welcome. You're
Oh,
welcome. It's my
thank you
pleasure.
very
And
much.
and a quick plug. Thank you guys for coming to our play, Raised in Hell, that we did with Dion Price. So
Oh yeah,
uh,
man. That
appreciate
is
you
a
guys.
good play.
Thank you.
Wouldn't have
Thank
met
you.
you if I hadn't went to the play.
Yeah, yeah, we produced that at Napa Valley College, and we're working on our next performance here in the Bay Area somewhere to be announced soon. So thank you guys for
All right.
participating in
I
that too. All right.
hope to see another play by you.
Absolutely, absolutely. This has been another edition of the Edric Show. As promised, intelligent conversation with interesting people. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and you'll get notified when I post content each and every week. I want to thank you for tuning in, and I will catch you on the next episode.
All right.